Right guys, welcome back on the channel. This is another Warhammer 40,000 battle report. I'm back at Shire War Games and I'm playing Connor again. This is today's table. The mission is Spoils of War, where you can steal the objective numbers. So we've got the 6 objectives. Number 1, number 2, 3, number 4, 5, and number 6 in the building there. So you may remember a while ago that I played against Connor's Tyranids with the Space Marines, and today Connor's Space Marines are playing against my Tyranids. So hopefully it's going to be a brutal and bloody game when you see the army lists. Right guys, so this is the Tyranid force today. I've got 2 combined arms attachments, so I'll walk you through them. Down here we have a Hive Tyrant with electroshock grubs and heavy venom cannon, even though he's got twin link devourers, and he's got the Reaper Obliter axe. He is rolling with a unit of 3 Tyrant Guard. Each of them actually have Lash Whip and Bone Swords. For elites, we have 3 separate units of Hive Guard, each with Impaler cannons. Troops choices, we have 2 units of 20 Hormagaunts. I know that's only 1, but it's just to save space a little bit. They have adrenaline glands. We've then got 2 separate single units of Carnifex, each with 2 sets of Twin Link Devourers with Brain Leech Worms. The Hive Tyrant also has Electroshock Grubs. For the second combined arms detachment, we've got a Flying Hive Tyrant with Electroshock Grubs and 2 sets of Twin Link Devourers with Brain Leech Worms, and of course wings. We've got a brood of Neurothrope and Zoanthrope there. They have obviously Warp Blast, Warp Lance, and they also have Onslaught. The Flying Hive Tyrant has Psychic Scream and the Horror. Just to note as well, the Tyrant back here actually has Onslaught and Catalyst. Down here we've got a Tervigon. She also has Electroshock Grubs and she has the Horror for her psychic power. She has been taken as a troop's choice, as I've got 30 Gaunts, 20 of them have Devourers and 10 with Flesh Borers, even though the model was Spine Fists. We've got a group of 3 warriors with a Barbed Strangler, Lash Whip and Bone Swords on one with a Death Spitter, and Bone Swords on the other, again with a Death Spitter. We've got 2 single units of Venom Thrope as well. The heavy support in this list, we have a Morlock with the Adrenaline Glands. We have a Tyrannifex with a Rupture Cannon and Electroshock Grubs. And then we've got a squad of 10 Gargoyles. So that rounds out the list. Obviously there's a lot of models here without all of the Gaunts. We'll now take you through Connor's Salamanders. Alright, so here we go, we've got Connor's Salamanders. So Connor, do you want to talk us through what you've got?
So I've got a 10-man Legion Breaching Squad. The Sergeant's got artificial weapons, a combi flamer and 1 breaching charge. And then there's a graviton gun and a flamer in the squad.
Yep.
Then there's the character Dreadnought Cassin Drogus.
Right.
And then in front of him is an Eversaur Assassin.
Very nice.
Then there's a 10-man assault squad where the Sergeant has artificial weapons, a hand flamer and a lightning claw, and the units have 1 plasma gun, 1 plasma pistol and a hand flamer.
Yep.
Then there's a 10-man Legion heavy support squad with autocannons, and the Sergeant has artificial weapons.
Right.
In the back is a Mortis Pattern Contemptor Dreadnought with extra armor and 2 Heresey assault cannons.
They are nasty. 6 strength, 6 shots each.
Then the Primarch Vulcan, a Rapier Graviton battery, a 10-man Legion tactical squad with a Sergeant with a combi flamer in a Rhino, and the Rhino has extra armor, auxiliary drive, and twin linked bolters.
Yep.
And finally a 10-man reconnaissance squad with snipers and chameleon, and the Sergeant has artificial weapons.
Very, very nice. I think at some point the AdMech might have to come and take on these Heresey Salamanders. Really looking forward to playing these, but I'm expecting some brutal firepower coming in. It's going to be a long, long way to his deployment line for the assaults. So Vulcan doesn't get a Warlord trait, so we'll now roll off the sides and see who's going to go first. Right, so here we go. I deploy first. I like to go on this side of the table. So we've got the 10 gargoyles with 10 hormigons and the warriors straight behind. A venom thrope and a hive guard in the ruins. The flying hive tyrant straight behind. Zone thrope and Eurothrope with the gaunt straight behind them. Both carnifexes slap bang in the centre, looking to run straight up, along with the hive tyrant and hive guard. We've got another venom thrope and hive guard there. We've got the big 30 man or 30 brood, 30 gaunt strong unit here with 20 devourers held at the back, the 10 flesh borers at the front for collateral damage. We've got the Tervagon, the Tyrannifex at this side with the hive guard in there. Connor's counter deployment, he's got Vulcan on this side here and squad of Marines there.
It's the Rapier.
Yep, so the Rapier. We've got the Dreadnought, can't remember his name. Front armor 14, so he's going to have to be shot down. One squad there with the assault squad straight in the centre. We've got the guys with the snipers, Contemptor Dreadnought, and then the other squad with the auto cannons at this side. Rhino with the 10-man tack squad in, and then he's infiltrated the Eversaw here. However, I believe Connor wants to seize.
Yep.
And he doesn't, so we'll move on to Tyranids, turn 1. Right, so start Tyranids turn 1. I drew secure objective 1, secure 3, and secure 4. So, I've got 4 there. 3 is here, so I'm unlikely to get it. And number 1 is over there, so it looks as though Connor's probably going to be stealing them from me next turn. Movement phase, the gargoyles have moved forward 12. Hormigons and warriors pulling up straight behind them. The warriors are going to just hang back to keep on objective 4. The hive tyrant has gone into swooping mode, and he's probably going to look maybe take out the assassin or somebody else. The zone thropes and the hormigons have moved forward. The venom thrope and the hive guard pushing forward slightly as well. Carnifex looking to hopefully divide, maybe go one side or the other. The hive tyrant and the tyrant guard pushing forward as well as the venom thrope and the hive guard here. Over this side, all the 30 gaunts here have pushed forward, probably still out of range, we'll have to measure. The Tervagon and the Tyrannifex has pulled this way as well. So, just before we go into sight phase, we need to see if the Tervagon spawns. Oh wow. Yeah, 4 gaunts and I doubled out already. So we'll now go on to psychic phase. Right, so the Tervagon's 4 gaunts have spawned this way. In the psychic phase, this guy, the Warp and Hive Tyrant, cast Onslaught onto this Carnifex. He also tried to cast Catalyst, but failed to get it off. The Neurothrope, meanwhile, cast Leech Life down at the Assassin, and Connor failed his leadership test by 3 and passed 2 invuns, so he lost a wound, and I didn't really have enough dice left to cast Warp Blast or anything else. So the Assassin is down to 2 wounds. That was it for the psychic phase, so we'll now move on to shooting. Right, so shooting phase, the gaunts have ran forward 1 inch, they weren't within range of anything. The Tervagons also ran as well. The Tyrannifex, meanwhile, managed to get a single pen in on the Dreadnought, but I didn't do anything, I only rolled a 3. This Impaler cannon managed to take out one of the number of the Marines there. The fire coming in from the Carnifex with Onslaught, as well as the heavy venom cannon from these, managed to take out another couple. This Carnifex has ran sideways. The Zone Thrope and the Neurothrope, as well as the Venom Thrope here, all the Gaunts and the Gargoyles have all ran forward. The Venom Cannon, Barbed Strangler rather, from the Warrior shot down at these breaches and managed to take a couple out. The Hive Tyrant, meanwhile, unloaded both Twin-Link Devourers at the Assassin and brought him down. So that scores me first blood. I didn't obviously secure objective 3, not quite far enough to it with the Gargoyles, unfortunately, and I don't secure objective 1. I do, however, secure objective 4. So that is 2 points to 0 at the end of Tyranids turn 1. Right, so Connor's cards for turn 1, he's drew Big Game Hunter, Assassinate and secure objective 3. So he can also steal my objective 1 and my objective 3 as well. So, Arabia, it's actually going to be in there, but due to the base being a bit big, it couldn't fit, so we are classing it as being in there. Vulcan is pulling around this side, and the Dreadnought is going to be securing objective 1 to steal it from my hand. These guys are pushed forward, probably looking to maybe prevent the charge from the Carnifexes, we'll have to see. Back here, the Sniper Marines have stayed where they are, and the Assault Squad have pushed forward. Guessing they're going for the Zoanthropes. The Dreadnought here has stayed still, and he's staying still because he's now going to get Skyfire. So if he does bring the Hive Tyrant down, that would grant him Big Game Hunter as well as Assassinate. As expected, the guys with the auto cannons have stayed exactly where they are, and the Rhinos pushed forward 6 inches, and these guys have jumped out their 6 inches to secure objective 3. So it looks as though Connor's going to be getting quite a few points this turn. Let's see what happens in the shooting phase. Alright, so welcome back after the shooting phase. These guys here with the Hand Flamer and all the bolters managed to take out 5 of the Gargoyles. The auto cannons elected to shoot down at the Venomthrope, yes, and they brought the Venomthrope down despite a 5-up cover. I think he got about 6 wounds, and I only failed 2 saves, unfortunately, so the Venomthrope on this flank has gone. While the Venomthrope was still alive, the Dreadnought went for the Hive Tyrant, and despite getting about 6 or 7 wounds, passed me 2 up cover saves due to Jinkin plus Shrouded. The Assault Marines here, with the Hand Flamer, the Plasma Pistol and quite a few bolt pistols, managed to strip a single wound from the Zoanthrope here. On this flank, however, these guys unloaded the Graviton and all their bolters over here. The Graviton landed just slightly further back where I can't place it due to the Turbogun. I failed a couple of strength tests and some of the Termaguns went down. The Turbogun didn't take a wound from that. Meanwhile, Vulcan used his beam weapon and managed to take out 4 of the Termaguns that were under his line. So that is it for the shooting phase. We'll now move on to assaults. Right, so the assault phase, despite Connor having a -1 and needing a 9-inch charge in on the Zoanthropes, he rolled a 10 and just made it in. With all the attacks he made, he got a few wounds in, and 1 Zoanthrope has held it up with 1 wound remaining. So, Hormoguns are going to be charging, but for Connor's turn, he secures his own objective 3, he steals my objective 3, and he steals my objective 1. So, at the end of turn 1, the score is 3-2 to the Salamanders. Right, so I have drew secure objective 3, no prisoners, and secure objective 4. We've done the movement. The Warriors have just conga lined a bit, still secure objective 4. The Hive Guard has remained where he is. These Hormigans have pulled out of cover, so at least they can go at initiative against these guys here that are outside. These Hormigans have moved forward to secure objective 3. And the Gargoyles have came this way, looking to hopefully pull the Marines off that way. The Morlock, meanwhile, did come on, and I tried to get directly on top of these guys. Unfortunately, I scattered right back, and I did get a glance and a pen against the Rhino, but I didn't blow it up, unfortunately. The Hive Tyrant has came this way, and he did Vector Strike, but unfortunately he rolled a 1, so no damage there. The rest of the movement phase over this side, both the Carnifex and the Hive Tyrant and Tyrant Guard have pushed forward. The Gaunts have pulled out of the way of Vulcan, and the Turbogon is also pushed forward, looking hopefully to get rid of this flank. The Tyrannifex as well also looking to shoot back down at the Dreadnought. Just to note as well, Connor did get his hull point back because of It Will Not Die. The Venom Throat and the Hive Guard on this side have also just pushed forward slightly as well. So we'll now move into Psychic Phase. Right, so in the Psychic Phase, the Hive Tyrant here has cast Onslaught onto this Carnifex, and he's also cast Catalyst onto that to Carnifex there and himself. Over this way, the Hive Tyrant, I elected to cast the Horror on the guys with the auto cannons. Connor did fail his -2 leadership pinning check, but due to Salamander's rules for Heresy, he can re-roll 1 dice, so he re-rolled a 6 and rolled a 2. And then put the last of my dice in the Psychic Screen, hoping to do some damage to both squads. I only got it off once with 4 dice, and Connor managed to stop it. So that's it for the Psychic Phase. We'll now move on to shooting. Right, so the shooting phase hasn't been too bad at all. The Hive Tyrant managed to kill one of the autocannon guys. The Barbed Strangler shot down at the autocannon guys here as well, and it did scatter and killed one of these. Connor passed his pinning test, and I also killed one of my own gargoyles with it as well. The Death Spitters, meanwhile, from the Warriors managed to kill another 2 of them. They have passed their leadership check though. And that was it for the shooting over that side. Over here, however, these guys and one of the Carnifex unloaded into the Marines, and they are gone. Because he had Onslaught, he ran into the ruins before he shot. This guy did brilliantly. Got 12 hits against the Dreadnought and 4 glances, and unfortunately the Marines weren't in the way far enough and denied any cover save, so the Dreadnought is gone. As a result of that, I used the Heavy Venom Cannon from the Hive Tyrant and the Stinging Salvo from here, as well as the 2 Hive Guards, and lost the gunner from the Rapier down there. The Rupture Cannon also shot as well, but Connor passed his save. The other thing that I just remembered about as well is this Hive Guard here managed to get a glance on the Rhino and took that out. So, pretty good shooting phase. We'll now move on to assaults. Right, so down here in the assault phase, the Hormigans made it in and cut down one of the Marines. The Sergeant hit back at the Zone Throat before he could attack and managed to bring him down. The other guys over this side, however, managed to kill 2 Gaunts, so I lost combat, but I'm fearless due to these over here. Over here, I made a big mistake. I charged the Gargoyle in from this side to drag them off the objective, and then should have charged the Hormigans in, and I didn't. And obviously the single Gargoyle would have gone down, as I lost a few to Overwatch, and yeah. Connor's got objective secured, which means I don't get objective 3, and he's now going to kill them Hormigans before I get a chance to charge. So yeah, that was it for the assault phase. So I do score no prisoners as I killed the Dreadnought, a squad of Marines, and the Rhino. So I get D3 for that, but my Warlord trait allows me to re-roll. Hell no. And I also get secure objective 4, so that gets me 4 points this turn, which puts the score at 6-3 to Tyranids. Right, so Connor's still got Big Game Hunter, Assassinate, and he drew Psychological Warfare. The only movement he's done is Vulcan has pulled forward, and he's probably going to splat the Tervagon. Didn't realise his weapon had instant death, so I'm going to pay for it by killing the Tervagon and a lot of Termagants. So we'll move on to the shooting phase. Right, so in the shooting phase, because the Dreadnought stayed still against Skyfire, and I elected to drink with the Hive Tyrant in case he got any rends. He got 1 rend and 3 wounds, so I failed 1 of my saves, but passed the grounding test. So the Hive Tyrant is still standing. Down here, these guys unloaded everything into the Hormigans, and unfortunately 7 of them went down. I'm now not within 3 inches of that objective to contest it. These guys unloaded at the Warriors up here, as well as the snipers across there, and he stands with 2 wounds. They are just within synapse, as well as those guys there. Elsewhere in the shooting phase, Graviton large blast took out a few of the termagants, and Vulcan's beam comes straight through, targeted the Turbogon, I think, and killed 3 gaunts there and none on this side. So that is it for the entire shooting phase. We'll now move on to assaults. Right, so in the assault phase down here, I didn't kill any Marines, I only got 2 wounds off unfortunately, and Connor managed to kill 5 or 6 of them back, 6 leaving 2. They are within synapse of that lonely warrior though. Those guys are still within synapse as well. Over here, as expected, Vulcan smashed the Turbogon to bits before it even got a chance to attack. So I'm not too worried about this flank. But yeah, that move with the Hormigans has cost me. So Connor also scores Secure Objective 3 and Big Game Hunter, putting him on 5 points to my 6. Right, so just going back to over here, we just realised as well that Connor didn't actually have objective secured on the Salamanders. So the last turn, I would have actually gotten objective 3. As I would have trumped him before he got to shoot at me. So that actually puts the score at 7-4, as I would have scored the point and not Connor. So we'll now move it into Tyranids turn 3. Right, so Tyranid turn 3, I've drew Ascendancy, Supremacy and Secure Objective 5, so I'm really going for it this turn. The Lone Warrior has pulled back just to secure Objective 4 for me. The Hive Guard got a good 6-inch move through cover, hopefully going to 5, and the Venom Thrope as well. The Hive Guard stayed where he is for the moment. The Tyranids was just within synapse of the Hive Tyrant, so he's pulled this way as Mortarian's up there. The Hive Tyrant is going to go and try and rescue these 2 Hormigans over here. The Gaunts here formed a bit of a conga line, hopefully try and take out Vulcan. And this guy was outside of synapse. He did fail his leadership check, which means he's going to have to shoot at Vulcan. This Carnifex has ran, or moved rather, looking at some shots through the window, and that one got a 6-inch move through cover. So as it stands at the minute, I'm looking to get, hopefully, this objective, this one if the Venom Thrope or the Hive Guard can get onto it, and this one. We'll see what happens with the Carnifex over there, as objective 2 is there. The Hive Tyrant has flown over the Dreadnought. He's not vector striking. I want to try and get more hits on the rear armour. And the Morlock tried to pop up on the snipers, but he appeared as he scattered slightly further back. So we'll now move on to the Psychic phase. Right, so in the Psychic phase, this guy cast Onslaught onto the Carnifex over there. And the Flying Hive Tyrant elected to cast Psychic Scream. He pearled and rolled a 2, failed his leadership test, so he took a wound, and then he failed his grounding test. So the Flying Hive Tyrant has been pulled down by his own Psychic Scream. Power still went off though, and managed to kill 3 of the Marines there. So we'll now, with that, move on to shooting. Obviously that does score Connor Slay the Warlord. Right, here we go. So I'm going to have some big problems next turn, so I've tried to optimise my firepower as much as I can. The Gaunt over here unloaded into Vulcan, got 3 wounds and he passed all of his saves. The Hive Guard shot at him as well and again passed his saves. This Hive Guard chose to shoot up at the Rapier and didn't cause any wounds unfortunately. For lack of a better target, I elected to shoot the Tyranids at the auto gun guys up there. They actually need a morale check. These guys here are killed with the Carnifex shooting through the ruins, as well as the Hive Guard that was there, so they need a morale check as well. These guys lost some due to the Carnifex here, so they need a morale check as well. So we'll work those out and then come back on to the assault phase. Right, so in the assault phase, these guys have not assaulted. They are going to trump these guys on objective 1. He's got objective 4, and as expected, the Hive Tyrant failed that 4-inch charge and rolled a 3. The Venom Thrope secures objective 5 for me. The Hive Guard secures objective 4. Meanwhile, the Carnifex over there Doesn't secure that objective, but he did charge in and did manage to kill 2 of the Marines, and Connor managed to pass his leadership check. So I do have ascendancy, so I scored D3 for that, for 2 points, which we'll keep. I also score supremacy for another D3, reroll for warlord trait, that's 3, and secure objective 5, so that is 6 points in that turn. Right, so just enough from that turn in the assault phase. Of course, the Space Marines cut down 2 Hormigans, and Connor's consolidated towards the hive type, the Tyranid warrior. So we'll now move into Salamanders, turn 3. Right, so Connor has drew Psychological Warfare, Assassinate, and Secure Objective 5. So let's have a look at his movement. The rapier stayed exactly where it is. Vulcan has pulled forward. He's looking to hopefully take those 2 guys out with a flamer, as the flamer temper just reaches the Tyrannifex. Over this side, Dreadnought has pulled round. The Moloch is still going to be getting cover saves, however, due to him being a monstrous creature, you don't have to be entirely in, and he is within the footprint of the building that we class as cover. Over here though, those 4 guys have pulled forward to kill those 3 gaunts, and the assault squad is going for that warrior. So we'll now move on to the shooting phase and see what damage you can do. Hopefully the Tyranids can survive long enough, as I'm very quickly running out of synapse. Right, so in the shooting phase, the Dreadnought managed to inflict a single wound on the Morlock. These 2 autocannons managed to strip a single wound off the Venom throat. Down here, Connor's elected not to shoot with these guys, he wants to get the charge in on him. And over here, Vulcan killed the 2 Gaunts and failed to harm the Tyrannifex with the 2 of armour. The Graviton landed slap bang there and took out 2 of the Gaunts there as well. So we'll now move on to Connor's assault phase. Right, so in the assault phase, Vulcan tried to charge a Tyrannifex and he rolled an 8 both times, as he has got fleet, so unfortunately he didn't make it in. Over here, as expected, the Marines cut the Tyranid warrior down, but Connor lost 2 of his number. Over this side, the Dreadnought managed to actually sweep and advance the Morlock. So yeah, that wasn't too good. He managed to inflict a single wound, and maybe only being strength 6, couldn't do anything about it. Meanwhile, the Carnifex killed 1, and despite Connor being able to re-roll his morale for 1 dice with the Salamander tactics, he actually failed, and I managed to sweep and advance the Marines, as they don't have and they shall know no fear. So that does score Connor Psychological Warfare, because I failed the morale check here with the Morlock. So we'll now move on to Tyranids, turn 4. Right, so I wasn't looking forward to this turn due to having very little synapse, but we've got secure objective 4, harness the warp, and secure objective 3. So let's see if we can do some of this. Movement wise, I've left this Hive Guard where it is. The Hive Tyrant and the Tyrant Guard are hopefully going to be able to try and take those guys out, along with that Carnifex shooting down as well. I'm not going to go for objective 4. Too many Marines there to be able to get rid of them. The Carnifex up that side passed his instinctive behaviour and is looking to get some shots in on the Dreadnought. He got a 5-inch move through cover, again looking to probably take those guys out. The Tyrannifex passed his leadership test as well, and again just looking to try and quell some guys on this side of the board. He also passed his leadership and him. However, the Termagants failed and they've had to run for cover. So hopefully they'll be able to take out either the Rapier or Vulcan. So we'll move on to the Psychic phase and see what damage we can do. Right, so in the Psychic phase, this guy cast Onslaught on the Carnifex. He also tried to cast Feel No Pain Catalyst and he failed. He also failed Dominion. So the Carnifex and the Hive Tyrant unloaded into these guys, and only one of them then stood. As a result, the Hive Guard shot, and Connor still passed his save. In the end, it was the Tyrannifex seemed a bit of a waste with their strength 10, but I wanted to try and deny him from getting objective 3. Over there, as you can see, the Carnifex managed to get 5 glances on the side armour of the Dreadnought and wrecked him. So that was it for shooting on this side of the board. Over here, both the Hive Guard and all of the Termagants shot at the rapier, and he's only lost 1 wound. So, don't think we've got any assaults. We'll now move into Connor's turn. Right, so last turn the Tyranids got Harness the Warp for 1 point and stole Connor's objective 5, so that puts me at 15. Connor drew 2 secure objective 2s and Supremacy, control 2 markers, at least twice as many as me, so we'll see what he can do with that. What was it? Vulcan has moved forward that way and the Marines have jumped up into the ruins, so we'll see if he can steal objective 4 off me and see if he can control more objective markers than me. Right, so Connor's shooting phase was very quick. The 2 autocannons shot down at the Tyrannifex and didn't kill it, unfortunately. 2 up armor saves all the way. The plasma pistol sergeant was just within range of the Tyrant Guard there and unfortunately missed. And Vulcan shot the flamer, passed my armor save, and then rolled a 4 to charge, and then with fleet, Connor rolled a double 1. So we are going to call the game there. We are running out of time, unfortunately, and although I have a lot of models left, they're not within synapse. But yeah, it's been a great game with the Salamanders. I think I definitely like playing them, but I think next time Connor wants a game, it's going to be Mechanicum. So yeah, if you live in the Catterick area, please check out their Facebook page, Shire War Games. I'll post a link in the description.